Now, Russia has accused the United States President Joe Biden of carrying out strikes in Iraq and Syria, and this to boost his image as the presidential election campaign is heating up.
Russia says that the strikes were not in retaliation for a deadly attack on US soldiers. Now, on Friday, the United States began pounding dozens of targets linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and allied groups. The strikes came after 3 US soldiers were killed in Jordan in an attack that Washington blames on Iranian-backed militias. At a meeting of the United Nations Security Council held to discuss the strikes, well, it was requested by Moscow, which said that there was no justification for the US action.
We see in these flex their muscles attempts. First of all, a desire to influence domestic political landscape in America, a desire to somehow correct the disastrous image of the current American administration on the international arena, as the presidential election campaign is heating up. Also, the fact that these acts could lead to a further escalation of international tensions and lead to the death of civilians is not of concern to Washington strategists.
Now, the United States justified the strikes in Syria and Iraq under Article 51 of the founding UN Charter. The article covers the individual or collective rights of states to self-defense against armed attack.
The US has also maintained that the retaliatory strikes, of which Iraq was not informed in advance, were aimed at holding Iran-aligned proxy groups accountable.
It is, of course, about holding these Iran-aligned malign proxy groups accountable. And so what these strikes were on Friday, you saw the United States conduct strikes on more than 85 locations at 75 facilities in Iraq and Syria. 3 were in Iraq and 4 were in Syria, and these locations were used by the IRGC and affiliated militias to attack U.S. forces.
Washington added that the strikes in Syria and Iraq were separate and distinct from U.S. and British strikes against the Iran-aligned Houthi group in Yemen.
Now, on Monday, the U.S. Central Command Forces conducted another strike against 2 Houthi explosive uncrewed surface vessels. US says its actions will protect freedom of navigation and make international waters safer and more secure for military and merchant vessels.